at the highway.
All right, y'all. It is summertime in the Shy. Well, not exactly. The show is going to show us a little bit of fall winter, but the show is going to return on May 23rd for its fourth season, and I'm excited that this summer we get new episodes of The Shy. Let's talk about the trailer. Kevin and Gemma are progressing nicely. They are doing what teenagers do and apparently having sleepovers at the top of the trailer. And they have a whole little routine worked out so that they don't get caught, where Kevin jumps out of her bedroom window before her dad appears. And I think that this is just the perfect way to start the trailer off because it's so lighthearted and it's fun, but it also catches us up to where we are at, specifically with Kevin, who is one of our main protagonists of the show. And y'all, it is so crazy to have watched him literally grow up on this show. He's a whole little man now. What? We are instantly hit with Doodah and reminded that he has won his mayoral bid. Child, this is finna be a mess. You can't really get a good grasp of whether or not he's gonna fall on the right side of things, but one of the major themes that we're definitely going to see this season is black people and their fight with police officers. And the fact that they now have a gangster as their mayor, you would think things would change a little bit, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Emmett and Tiffany are picking up where they left off on the dang on rocks, y'all. We saw last season that Emmett cheated on her, and I'm guessing that this season we're going to see her give in to the temptation that she experienced from Corey Hardrick's character. It's not super clear because we get nothing but snippets of both Emmett and Tiffany. We only see them together in one scene where she's walking off from him in frustration. I know I was thrown for a loop last season when he doubled down and got really, really serious with Tiffany because he was playing so many games with Tiffany from the jump, but it was good to see him actually like double down into a relationship and start to take things a bit more seriously until he decided to sleep with Dom. We saw last season that Kiesha is keeping the baby and her journey is going to revolve around that decision this season. We see a full-on pregnant Kiesha in the trailer. It's clear that that road is not going to be an easy one because we can also see her crying and struggling, and we have a moment where Dre says that this is going to be the biggest decision of your life, which I'm going to assume she's speaking to Keisha about keeping the baby, because that's hard, y'all, to carry the baby of the person who did that to you. Child, I can't even begin to understand the impact mentally that that's going to have on her. She's already struggling with the PTSD from the incident and from being, you know, captured and taken away from her family for so long and in plain sight. Like, I think that the Shy did a beautiful job last season of telling that story. But on a lighter note, her and Emmett are still going strong in their friendship. It's very beautiful to see this support system develop because one, Keisha needed it, and two, there's so many fractured relationships happening on the show that it's really good to see a platonic one develop. So I love seeing Keisha and Emmett show up for one another. Jake gets harassed and attacked by the police, and that changes everything. Not only for Jake, but for Kevin. We can see that this is going to be something that he struggles with throughout the season in watching and having a better understanding of how people see young black people, or specifically how some white cops and how some white people see black people in this country. And this has been a very hot topic in a lot of the shows that I'm covering and watching, which makes sense because last year we definitely experienced things coming to a head visually. I don't think that the racism has increased. I think that it's just being filmed now. And it's very interesting to see it show up in media, and hopefully this sparks conversation that actually pushes change the more that we see it, and it's not glamorized. You can see how raw it is. Kevin is struggling with experiencing it from the point of a bystander, and then we're going to see Jake struggle with experiencing it as the person who was a part of an attack. Like, this police officer literally slams him on his neck. I think that there's going to be a moment following when he like has his knee on his neck, which is a little bit hard to fathom still as we approach the 1 year anniversary of the killing of George Floyd. We are not the only people watching these shows, and yes, a lot of these are very black shows, but we're not the only people watching them. And allies, potential allies, wannabe allies, need to see this, and they need to have more conversations around what they're going to do about it. Kevin has experienced so much, and this running with the cops may be the straw that breaks the camel's back with his mental health. We're going to have to watch to see. Trig tells Jake, you ain't got to be strong all the time following his incident, and we see a series of shots from different characters like Kiesha crying in the moments of vulnerability, and then we hear Jake say, yeah, you do. And I think that this will be the theme of the season, the battle between strength and vulnerability as a black person in America. We can't always be strong. When do we get to be human, feel hurt, not be okay, and need a space to heal and actually be provided with that? There's some hints in the trailer of Jake falling for Gemma, Kevin's girl. Lord, I know I am not ready for our favorite young trio to be disbanded over beefing over a girl. And it's funny because Jake hated Gemma when she was first introduced, but I'm guessing his running with the cops helped him to understand her pro-black and anti-system mentalities, and she's able to show up for him and help him through the trauma that came with that incident. And that doesn't seem to be the only police running we will see this season, as Trig says, I ain't afraid to die, in the middle of a weird police standoff with the police pointing guns at civilians with camera phones held up. And these quick flashes of scenes took me out. Is Dom kissing Darnell like Emmett's father, Darnell? Why is Jada at the doctor's office as a patient? We see she got a new man-child, but is she pregnant? And what is wrong with Emmett? We see him happy, then sad, then on the lookout in the trailer, and I can't get a read on what he got going on this season. And as the new mayor, Duda is going to have to pick a side. He speaks about black people being versus the police, and that the people are currently losing. So what you finna do to change that, Mr. Mayor? Inquiring minds want to know. And now it's your turn. Tell me what you think of the season 4 trailer of The Chi. I, for one, cannot wait for this show to come back. It is one of my favorites. I think that they storytell beautifully. I think it's visually stunning. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This season, we are going to be picking up with coverage for The Chi, Pose, as well as the Star's new series, Run the World. You should join the tribe by hitting subscribe. I'm Erica Vane, and I post new videos every day covering your favorite television shows, films, and entertainment news. All of that's on my channel, which is linked in the description box below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!